Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So my name's Beth and I'm a seamstress and freelance knitwear designer. I typically make like 2-week sort of making and design vlogs here on YouTube, and if you watch the last vlog, this is literally where the last one finished off. So yeah, I'm pretty sunburnt, so please excuse how pink I am. I'm assuming this is going to come up even worse, but if you watch that, you'll have seen I'm just working on this. So I'm literally about to pretty much split for sleeves on this. This is my own design. It's going to be like a raglan cardigan. Obviously it's just cables and stuff, but yeah, as always, we'll just be kind of taking you along on how the process of this is going. And yeah, I'll update once I've split for sleeves. Thing is, I'm concerned that I'm splitting a bit early, but then looking at the other patterns that I've done with raglans, I'm already past the amount of rows that I normally do. I think it's just because it's like cables and stuff, it's maybe not as like long as stockinette would be. I'm not entirely sure, but if you missed that video, I did mid-block the top of this. So I think about the last 15 rows haven't been blocked, but everything above that has been. So obviously it's not cinching in too much. But yeah, I think I've maybe done like one big cable since there, maybe two. Yeah, I don't really know if you can see a difference in tension, but obviously we'll update as this goes along, as always. So I just thought I'd interject here and sort of show roughly how I'm gauging this. So this this grey cardigan is knit on smaller needles than this. I think this was knit on 5.5 and this is knit on 4.5, and this does have a wider neck because I wanted a bigger ribbed neckline basically. But I'm just literally laying one on top of the other just to sort of see how far the increase points go down on this, because this sort of teal cardigan pretty much is like the perfect fit for me, what I'm trying to go for. So obviously I do need to do like a couple more rows, but it's just sort of showing me that like I am on the right track fit wise. But you can literally do this with like any garment. It doesn't have to be something that you've like knit before. If you have anything that is like just any sort of good fit on you, you can kind of gauge your knitwear off of it if you're like designing yourself. But yeah, I'm gonna do I think a few more rows than I had planned to, and then I'm gonna split for the body and sleeves. A point with this that I couldn't decide if I was gonna add more rows or split for the sleeves. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting in like a lifeline with some scrap yarn just on this like yarn needle, and I'm gonna split for sleeves, and then if like all goes wrong and it's too small, I will just rip back to where this spare yarn is basically, is that it's easier to pick back up all of these stitches, because obviously I'm about to like take off all of this and then cast on more, and sometimes I think, well, just me personally, I end up dropping things or picking up my stitches twisted. So yeah, I'm just gonna literally thread this through the whole round and then yeah, split for the body and sleeves. You'll have to bear with the shaky camera because I'm holding it, but I've already decided that I'm gonna rip back to my lifeline. I just don't think that the yoke part was long enough. Like I keep trying it on and I feel like the sleeves are gonna be too tight. I want this to be quite oversized. I did literally, as I was starting, well, as I separated them, I was thinking this is probably gonna be too small, but I was impatient, and now yeah, it's literally only 2 rows of knit, to be fair. So like this is where the armholes are, but yeah, definitely want them bigger. So we are going to be ripping this back. I'm also getting like progressively more and more pink, so hopefully this isn't too bad tomorrow, but yeah, it's fine. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this like literally at all, but this is how much more I have knitted from the lifeline. So you can kind of see like here, God, sorry, the floorboard's ridiculous. You can kind of see here like where I put the lifeline in and rip back to, and then yeah, I've just, oh God, I'm dropping stitches. I've just basically knit, I think I did like maybe another 10 rows, so like another 5 increases, and I think here is where I actually am gonna split for the sleeves, just because I'm worried that it's gonna be too, like the armholes will be too wide otherwise. Also, like, please, the sunburn, I don't even know how it happened, it was cloudy, but yeah, I think I'm literally gonna split the sleeves and then go to sleep. I realised that the clip I filmed last night was like a little bit scatty and it was dark, but I've done some more rows on the body. So here is what she's looking like. Obviously it's over the top of like an oversized t-shirt, so probably still not the best way to show, but yeah, this is where I'm at. Literally, I've hardly done any rows to be fair on the body, but definitely glad that I extended like where I put where I split. So like I think you could see in the last clip, I don't know if you can see it now, here's where I put in my lifeline. So I think I did like, I think I said maybe like another 10 rows, which is another 5 increases, but I think yeah, it definitely made a lot of difference, and I'm hoping that this will also open up even more. I feel like it's getting hard to tell because where there's so many stitches, they are kind of bunched up a bit on my needles, so it might be a bit wider. And then obviously when I put the neck rib on at the end, like this will not sort of fall so much. But yeah, I think I'm gonna work on this for like a little bit tonight, and then maybe go back to my granny square jacket, the second sample. I stopped on the ribbing because it was like low-key hurting my hands on 3mm, but maybe I'll go back to that, finish off the rib, and then maybe make some more granny squares, because I have had people start to message me about testing and I don't want to write the pattern until I finish the second sample, just so that, because I'm doing it in a different fibre, I'm not doing it in acrylic, I'm doing it in alpaca and mohair, I want to make sure that it's not going to block like ridiculously different. But yeah, so I think I'm just gonna like flip between the different projects. I also don't think that my hobby jumper shrank at all in the washing machine, so that's another thing to deal with. But it's Tuesday evening, so I had work, got work tomorrow and Thursday, so that is not something that I will be looking at until the weekend probably. But yeah, of course, as always, we'll update on this, or if I start working on the other cardigan. I feel like I'm so proud of this, honestly. Like, this is the same design pretty much as the jumper, the hobby jumper, but yeah. If you watched the last vlog, you might have seen that I put this in the washing machine. So this was something that I was designing for hobby using their friend's extra fine merino. I knit it last year, and basically when I washed it last year, it like grew massively. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll put it in the washing machine, and yeah, it literally hasn't shrunk. Let me stand up so you can see this. Sorry about this angle. Oh my god, I don't even think you can like fully appreciate how massive this is. Like, okay, and I do like an oversized jumper, but this is like literally swamping me. So I don't know what to do with this. My thoughts are, one, like literally frog the whole thing, re-knit it, obviously bearing in mind how much this grew, or two would be to potentially re-knit this design in a different yarn, because I actually really love like the design that I did for this. This is obviously what I'm doing for like the cables cardigan as well, like as a raglan, and this isn't moss stitch on that, but like this was literally like really close to being the perfect size when I first knit it. Like, I actually cannot even explain how much this grew after blocking. Like, this neckline was like further up, and yeah, obviously was not as long. The thing is as well is that I could rip back the sleeves, just re-knit the rib, but I knit this bottom up because at the time I wasn't very confident doing top down. So obviously this is actually the cast on, not the cast off, which I haven't ever unpicked that way around before. Also it would still be too wide and the neck would still be too big, so I don't really think it's an option to just like fiddle with it essentially. I don't know, like what I'm thinking is maybe if I shortened it the width wouldn't be so bad, but like it's ginormous on me. So when I like do patterns, or like as I've been writing patterns, what I like typically use myself as like the sort of medium-ish measurement, really depending, because although I'm quite like short and small, I've got like a bigger bust, but I can't use this as a medium, there's no way. This is at least into, I don't even know, like a large or an extra large. So then my thought is, do I just grade this as one of the larger sizes, but then again the neck is still skewiff, and also like obviously this grew for me because I hand washed it, and that was a bit of a silly mistake. I realised I probably should have put it straight in the washing machine, but like if I do this as a larger size and then people knit theirs and it doesn't grow, then theirs are going to come up too small. So yeah, I'm like I'm in an R in. Yeah, this has put me off probably ever using superwash again. This yarn, this Friends Extra Fine Merino, it's actually like, it feels very nice. Like this is with a mohair, but the actual yarn is very, very soft. I have also used it for a blanket. Like it does feel lovely. Really like can't fault the yarn. It's just the fact that it's superwash, but that's not the yarn's fault. That's just my fault. So, you know, if you are thinking of using this yarn, it is really nice. Just like knit whatever you want, like 3 sizes too small. So yeah, if anyone has had this problem with superwash before and has resolved in any sort of way, or has any opinions on what they think that I should do with this, because the thing is as well is that like the Friends range from Hobby, there is just a wool, like 100% just wool, like not a superwash. So I'm like, do I just, you know, bite the bullet, buy that, because this was sent to me for free, I should say, to write this pattern. So like obviously if I repurchased the different yarn for them and just literally made the same pattern to the old measurements, then maybe I should do that. But yeah, if anyone has any thoughts, feelings, please let me know what you think I should do, because I'm also just scared to like re-knit this, because I'm not sure, like obviously where I've already washed it, does that mean that like when I re-knit it won't stretch again because the yarn has already stretched, or does it just stretch the stitches, if that makes any sense? So like if I re-knit this smaller thinking it would grow, would it just not grow? But then I don't want to go through the whole faff of this again. Also, I did gauge swatch and I did wash and block my gauge swatch because I heard that superwash grew. I think the problem is that obviously this, when this had water in it, it's the weight of a whole garment and not like a little gauge swatch. So although it grew, there was like nothing heavy about it, so didn't stretch as much. But yeah, please let me know. Good morning, it's, what is it today? Friday. So today is my, well, I have today off from work and I'm off, well, I go back to work on Tuesday. It's meant to be like really hot this weekend, like literally getting up to like 30 degrees. But today I feel like I need a bit of like a reset day. I need to like wash my hair, clean my room. My room is looking a little bit messy right now, but I thought I'd quickly update on where I'm at with these projects, because I kind of really want to do some sewing today. At work this week I had to do a full reline on like a tailored jacket, like on a blazer, and I had to do like jet pockets and stuff on the inside, and honestly I was like really proud of how it turned out, and it's really made me want to quickly just do some sewing at home. So I've got a couple of ideas for that, but yeah, I thought I'd just quickly update where I'm at with the knit and crochet projects. So pretty sure I showed this anyway. So this is the granny square jacket. Obviously did the bottom edge. I'm not sure if I've updated. I did a Italian cast off on the 1x1 rib because I want to write a pattern for this, and I want to have options for both knit and crochet edges, just in case people have different preferences. So yeah, the main body of this is all connected. Obviously I need to do all the finish weaving in my ends. I still need to do like the button band and the collar. But then I've also just been making like some more squares for the sleeves. I think I'm also gonna potentially do this with slightly thinner sleeves just so it's not so flared. But yeah, I felt this is kind of like weird to show progress on because like this doesn't look like anything until it's assembled. But I basically started crocheting again last night because the knit was starting to hurt my hands. I feel like working on cables does make me a little bit achy. But this is how far I am with, how can I even show this, I don't know, with the raglan, the cable raglan that I'm working on. So this is what she's looking like. I'm really proud of this, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, this is what she's looking like. Obviously the very top section, like maybe this much, has been blocked. I feel like you can kind of see here where it was blocked to, and then the rest has just been obviously knit, not blocked. So I'm sort of this far down on the body. I think normally what I'd do is I'll like do the sleeves and then finish the body, like especially if it's a jumper. But I find that when I do cardigans, I like to do the body first so that I can put on like the button band and the neck and everything, because I think that the neck cinches things, like holds things up enough that it does sort of impact your sleeve length. So I don't want to make them like too long or too short and then put the neck on and think they should have been a different length. But yeah, this is what she is looking like. I feel like I've shown this enough, you probably know what it looks like. But yeah, this is really fun. It's just, it does hurt my hands after a while, I think, because I've been like knitting on it so much as well. So I think sewing will give my hands like a little smidge of like a break from so much tension. But yeah, I need to sort my room out, sort myself out. I fell asleep in my makeup last night because I was just so tired. And then yeah, obviously check back in with you in a bit. So as if you can hear the seagulls. But yeah, I haven't decided yet what I want to sew, and it's not because I don't know what to do, it's because I have a couple of ideas and I don't know which one to do today. Like I said, it's meant to be really hot this weekend, so I'm also trying to be like a bit conscious of like what I'm knitting on and stuff. Both of these are wool and alpaca and mohair, and so I think come Sunday, Monday, it might maybe be like a little bit unbearable. I feel like the granny squares are going to be a better option because I've not got something like draped over my lap that I'm working on, but we shall see. Maybe I'll be fine. I feel like I'm so excited about these projects that I just want to sit and work on them. But I have been, like last night especially, and just sort of bits and bobs here and there, like really looking into like pattern grading and stuff. So I do actually have 3 patterns up on my Etsy. If you didn't know, I think it's Fashion by Beth UK on Etsy, because Fashion by Beth wasn't an option. But I released them patterns like maybe 4 years ago, and they're just not up to the same standard that I would feel comfortable publishing today. I feel like the granny square, not the granny square, the like cabled hearts crochet cardigan that I did, I feel that was the last one that I did, so I feel like that's probably the best. But just not even like first of all, format. I'm not a huge fan of the format. Second of all, it's just the grading and like the size inclusivity. I think, I can't remember entirely now, but I think at the time I struggled finding testers that were in particular sizes, which I think is always the thing that lets designers down. Like, it's not that necessarily they can't grade to that size, it's that you can, like, I wouldn't feel comfortable necessarily releasing something that someone hadn't tested like prior to me publishing it. So yeah, I am looking at grading. Also, I think what I'm struggling with is, well, okay, two different things. So we'll start with the crochet granny square, this cardigan jacket thing. I am struggling with grading because it's made of squares. So if I make the granny squares bigger, like one round bigger on every granny square, then it gets like way bigger way quicker, and also it's going to get way longer. So what I'm thinking is, like, let me hold this up, like maybe between the rows I could add like extra stitches, like say like rows of single crochets or whatever, to impact width but not length. But then obviously the worry is when it gets to much bigger sizes, there's gonna be much bigger like separations between the squares, if that makes any sense. Or I could do bigger squares but less of them to try and combat like the massively extra width, because there's just going to be such a humongous jump between sizes if that's the case. But then like maybe do less of them, but then obviously it won't look exactly the same, because so like on the front, for example, where there's like 2 rows of like these granny squares, if I had like one big row of granny squares, it's just not the same look. And the whole point of like grading is that you want it to look cohesive across all sizes. So I needed to have a bit of a play around with this. I have had some people message me about testing. If you are interested in testing, please do reach out to me on Instagram. What I have been saying to people is that it's not ready to be tested yet, but when it is, like, you guys will be the first port of call if you are interested. So yeah, just message me on Instagram. And even if you don't have a specific knit or crochet Instagram, then if you can just send me photos of your work, like just in DMs, that's fine. I'm not bothered about if you've got like 1 million followers or whatever. I just need to know that you can actually crochet. So yeah, that's this one. Second of all, and not necessarily just for this one, but for the hobby jumper. So what I was thinking, I think I said with the hobby jumper, is reknitting it in a different one of the hobby walls and then doing the pattern. But obviously with grading cables, it's the same thing. Like obviously as you expand out, I don't want to distort the cable pattern, but you need to put extra stitches or take stitches away from somewhere. So I think what I might do is purchase a couple of patterns, like popular patterns with cables, with this, with that, and like just for like research sake, just to see where people are putting in extra stitches and measurements, etc., because I want my patterns to be as size inclusive as possible. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of research on grading, a lot of research on, like, obviously I did grading for sewn garments. So when we submitted all of our pieces for uni, we had to give in tech packs. If you don't know what a tech pack is, it's basically like if you were to get a garment manufactured, it's what you give your like manufacturers basically, and it's like working drawings, so like flat, like technical flats of your garments, all of your measurements, finishes, etc., and then grading across all your sizes. So I do have like an understanding of where, like, say for example, obviously your bust is going to get bigger with every size, right? But then like your cuff length's always going to stay the same, like random things like that. But obviously with knit, because it's not just cutting out fabric, it's actually like thoughtfully placing particular stitches, motifs. Like if you have a repeat, you have to consider how like say if you need like, I don't know, 5 extra stitches between your sizes, but you have like a 7-stitch repeat, you do have to get a bit like crafty with where you're doing things. So yeah, this maybe is like of no interest to people that don't want to write their own patterns or anything, but yeah, I'm really trying to be like thorough. So yeah, if you wanted to test this or anything, just message me on Instagram, I can give you more information there. But I need to crack on and yeah, catch up with you in a bit when I actually get to like doing something significant. So I've decided to unpick this. It just isn't the vision that I was going for, and my thought process is this is really nice yarn. I want to wear this cardigan. I can experiment with this on any number of things, so I'm gonna sit and unpick this, and if the tension's messed up, I'm gonna just re-block the front panel. So I decided this day that I wanted to make a trench coat on the hottest day of the year. But yeah, so I was just looking at different trench coats on like Pinterest and stuff, and then I think this one that I was looking at was the Damson Madder one. I really love like a lot of their stuff, but it is just like very expensive. So I was just drawing out a couple different designs because I wasn't sure like what sort of collar I wanted to go for. I think I'm going to do a collar and lapel, and then oh yeah, I was also just looking at bags, but I didn't end up doing this in the end. It's so hot, so please excuse the fan. But I have just been pattern cutting a really basic like trench coat design, I guess, but like it is really in its early stages. So literally have just put on like a collar and lapel and like extended it to the length that I want, and like that's literally about it. This is just going to be like a very first draft, like rough toile. So literally gonna sit and sew this on my lovely industrial sewing machine, and I'll show you the fit of it when it's done. This is going to be like an ongoing thing because it's so hot. I can't actually bring myself to work on this anymore today, and I'm a little bit busy this weekend, but I was itching to make this. I've had the fabric for so long, so yeah, I'll let you know obviously when it's done how it fits and everything. This is looking pretty ridiculous because I'm currently using my lapel facing as a belt, but I already know one thing for certain, and that is that these armholes are too small. So like I said, I literally didn't change anything from the block. Why are these so tiny? Yeah, literally put this on and was like, there's no way, but I wanted to see how this was gonna look like, obviously with an actual belt on. So I have cut and sewn sleeves, haven't ironed any of my seams at this point, by the way, but I'm not even gonna bother putting them on because I can already tell you now that I'm going to be changing the sleeve holes at least. Although saying that, I don't know whether to just put one on for the sake of the length. Nah, we can guesstimate. Yeah, as I thought, sleeves are going to have to come up by quite a significant amount because I'm only little. Should I put the other one on? Maybe we can get like a fuller picture. I also haven't put my, what's this called, collar on. It's currently here because I just thought I'd try on the body, and yeah, the armholes have really thrown me. So yeah, this is my collar and lapel facing, currently tied around my waist, and this is why we twirl things. I wish there was a process like this in like knit or crochet that you could just make a mock-up without like knitting for like hours and hours on end and then realising something's wrong. Crikey. Right, this is absolute shambles, but like we do kind of get the gist. Yeah, so what I want to do is, actually, I've got, you might have seen the little time lapse a minute ago. This is basically what I'm going for. So I want slanted pockets, button things on the sides, maybe breast pockets, not sure yet. Obviously collar and lapel. God, this is getting really hot. I cannot stay in this for more than 5 minutes. But yeah, so I'm obviously going to want to put belt loops on, pockets here, maybe make the body a bit wider, defo make the sleeves a bit wider, drop the armholes, because obviously I want to be able to wear like jumpers under this if needs be. Then obviously have the band here with like the button, and this is pretty long. You literally can't see the bottom of this at all, but yeah, it's literally roasting. I'm gonna stop doing this today, but just thought I'd show you since I said that I would. Yeah, just in case you're wondering, this is what the collar and lapel is gonna look like. So this is just the facing piece. So yeah, obviously it will have like this section that I haven't actually attached yet to the jacket, but I think these are like a decent size. So this is why I'm not sure on the breast pockets or not, because they're going to be under these flaps anyway, because I was originally thinking of doing a different collar, which is why I was going to do pockets, so there's like something going on up here, but I'm not sure that that's necessary now. Good morning, it's Sunday. Well, it's morning for me. So it's meant to be really hot here today and tomorrow. I think it's meant to be hotter tomorrow. I was meant to have plans with some friends today, but we've had to postpone. So obviously just going to work on some more projects. I thought I'd quickly update where I'm at with these and then sort of get into what I want to do today and tomorrow. So I feel like I've made quite good progress on this. I don't know where it was at last time I showed it, but we've basically just hit past my waist, and I feel like this is really cinching because obviously it's not blocked and like the cables and that are gonna open up, but it's just got this stitch down like under the arms, and like the eyelets just sort of run down and like become the border. So yeah, I think plan for this is I'm just gonna keep knitting the whole body and then put on like the neckline and like the button band and everything, and then do the sleeves last. The only thing is that I don't know if I'm gonna have enough yarn, but I feel like I should, because I bought 15 balls of the drop snored for this, so if I didn't have enough I would be a little bit concerned. Obviously this top section is like blocked to like about here, but yeah, this one's been really fun to work on, and I feel like I'm definitely getting quicker now that I'm like off the yoke. Like these rows were becoming like particularly long, but the body rows like aren't so bad, and then I feel like the sleeves will just fly past. So yeah, I like this design, not much more to say. I feel like I've spoken about it a lot. And then this one, which is still connected to the balls of yarn on the neck, so let's see if I can show you this. I basically have woven in all of my ends. I've done the bottom rib in knit. I've started doing the stitches for the collar. I've not got too much longer to go on this collar, like, to be fair. And then I've just made like one arm panel. So I don't know how well this is gonna translate, but I guess you can sort of get the idea. But today, since I'm not seeing my friends anymore, I think what I'm going to do is go to Hobbycraft, because I need to get some buttons for this. I have so many buttons, but not ones that like are suitable, and a lot of them are like randoms as well, so they're not in sets. So I need to go get some buttons for this, and then also I want to get some buttons for the trench coat that I was working on the other day, because I want to do a second toile of that. But obviously before I can like do the like basically where it crosses over at the front is like where the buttons go and your center front, but I can't do any like buttonholes or anything if I get to making the real thing unless I actually have the buttons. So yeah, I think we're gonna go there, get them, and then come back and work on some pattern cutting depending on how hot it gets, because it's meant to nearly be like 30 degrees today. But then I do also want to make some more nail sets, whether that's today or tomorrow. So I've still got these ones on. I really love these little cherries. I did like with the gel, I don't know if you can see, like God, my nails are disgusting, but with the gel, it's like a clear gel, and then I use like a translucent like polish, like the same on the ladybugs. Don't know if you can see, like they're a bit see-through. I feel like these are like Haribo sweets, and I kind of want to incorporate that into some more designs. So yeah, whether it's today or tomorrow, we will see, but I'm gonna go to Hobbycraft. Sorry about the fan. So I did start on the trench coat, and then it got too hot, so I've started doing nails, and it's still too hot, and I think it's making it difficult to work on because the sunlight, even though my blinds are shut, are curing the gel too quickly. And then the like UV like hard gel like clay stuff that I'm using, one of them's gotten really runny and really sticky, I think because it's too hot. And like obviously I've got gloves on, I don't know if you can see, like it's literally just coming off, like it's really hard to work with. So I think I'm going to stop doing this as well, but I thought I could quickly show you what I was doing. So I wanted to do a set of like full fruit nails. Also, sorry if this is of no interest to anyone, because I know this is normally like knitting and stuff, but I like to do nails. So yeah, I wanted to do like a fruit set, like every nail as a different fruit, and I wanted them like 3D sculpted, like kind of like the ones that I've got on at the minute. So, oh god, I don't know how I'm gonna hold these up in these gloves. Done like some more little cherries, but more like sort of realism cherries, and then this little apple with like a bite taken out of it. I don't really know if you can actually, I don't think you can see this because it's too shiny. I also did like this banana, like, so this is what I mean, the hard gel is like clear and then you paint it, but like I've got like these little like peely bits, and then the last one that I got to is I've like put the, can you see? I've put like the balls on this one to like do a bunch of grapes on here. I'm not sure that you can see or that this is gonna focus. Okay, but yeah, it's too hot for this, so I'm gonna put this away and continue knitting, which is not a shock to absolutely anyone. This is probably way easier maybe to see what I was talking about, so like, okay, no, maybe not. I feel like you get the gist, but like, yeah, this is the difference between the cherries, and I've basically just like top coated and cured. Why is this not focusing? I've top coated and cured all of these so that I can work on them later and nothing's going to stick to them, because cured gel without a top coat is really tacky. So yeah, this is like more of my ridiculous collection of nails. They're not actually all my size press-ons, so a lot of these were just like for fun, but like these which are just like little breakfast, and then I use like matte and shiny coats on different parts. So like obviously these are like pancakes and syrups to try and make different things stand out. These are the ones I was doing in the last video, like little koi fish pond, Nintendo 3DS nails, Zelda nails with like little fairies, these little like cats, celestial. These were like graffiti from when I was in Barcelona. This is after the Sagrada. These were like the first ones that I'd done, and then this gets like progressively older, but obviously this doesn't include all the sets that I did on myself as Gel X or the ones that I've like given to my friends. But I particularly like these graffiti ones. I don't know, I think they're quite cool. And then these ones like glow in the dark as well. But yeah, these are for sure my faves. Not that I could ever wear them, nor are they even my nail size. So I've been making like pretty good progress on my cables raglan. Soz that we're shaking, I'm holding you up, but I'm feeling like a little bit delulu, and like I can finish my granny square jacket tomorrow if I just work on that. So I'm thinking maybe of doing that and maybe writing up some of, or drawing I guess, some of the construction charts for the pattern. But yeah, if anyone's interested in testing for that, then please message me on Instagram with your like measurements, like bust measurements. This is designed to be quite oversized, but obviously the hardest part of testing is always finding testers in enough sizes that you need. So yeah, if you could just message me with that. And if you don't have a Instagram for knit or crochet, just like send me a photo of like some crochet that you've done or like whatever, just so I can see that you can actually do it. But yeah, I feel like I'm just gonna power through. I literally have to knit the squares for the second sleeve, I have to crochet the squares for the second sleeve, and then weave in the ends, and then literally attach the sleeves and do the 2 button bands. That is it, and then it's done pretty much. And then literally it's just like finishing touches, ends, etc., and then it will just be a case of blocking. But yeah, I'm hoping, like, my thought is if I can finish it tomorrow, then I can wash it, block it, put it on the blocking mats. Tomorrow's Monday, and then I'm working Tuesday to Friday, so then by the time I finish work for the week, it'll be dry, and then next weekend I can just like smash out right in the pan. So yeah, if you want to test, please message me on Insta. It's Monday and it's meant to be like 30 degrees here today, which is not common in the UK, but I have made quite significant progress since last night on this jacket. So as you can see, I finished the collar and I've attached the sleeves and everything. So I literally just need to do the button bands. I'm gonna take this off. I literally need to do the button bands and then block it. I really want to block it today because it's so hot. I feel like it would dry pretty quickly. I might even just leave it out in the garden, to be fair. But yeah, I've weaved all of the inside ends. The only ones that are left are on the cuffs and then like the bits from the rib basically. So yeah, literally gonna try and just do the button bands now, just quickly put the rib on. Obviously this is the one with the knit rib, so yeah, and then just put this outside to block. I think I'll probably do the blocking and then end the video there. So I'll show you, like, obviously once it's completely done. I don't actually know if I showed the buttons that I got for this. So obviously I went to Hobbycraft yesterday. I don't think I actually showed what ones I got. So on the original sample, it's got like the green rib with like the white buttons, but I want to do something a bit different. So I got these little like grey and black and lighter grey buttons. Don't know how well you can see. They're actually quite like wide. I don't know if you can really tell, but this is like just what they look like with the rest of the piece. So yeah, they're just like a little bit different, just for funsies. But I need to put the fan back on because I'm literally gonna start sweating and work on this, even though it's alpaca and mohair in 30-degree heat, just because I'm like, I can see the finish line in sight with this one. I actually can't keep this on for longer than like 5 minutes, but I finished the cardigan or jacket, I guess. So obviously this is what it looks like pre-blocking. I'm gonna block this in a minute, and then in the next vlog you'll be able to see what this looks like. I'm gonna obviously like stretch the rib so that it lays flat, because this is a bit of a funky shape, although I don't know, maybe you like it like this. But yeah, I did the collar like a little bit differently to the original sample, but I need to block this into shape a bit more and just generally like just flatten out. You can kind of see like where the seams are. It kind of goes like in a little bit. You can see more on the sleeves, but yeah, I'm absolutely covered in mohair fibres. But I just wanted to say, like, obviously thanks for watching as always. If you made it to the end of the video, obviously if you want to see how this ends up, then stick around to see the next one. You can like, subscribe. I'm on Instagram, Fashion by Beth, as well, which I post photos of like everything I'm doing more frequently than on YouTube. But yeah, thanks and goodbye.